Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sam, and unfortunately my Covert has had to leave. So it will just be me for our next series, which will be between Orgless and Unrefined. We've already gone through our map ban phase. It will be Theme Park first up, chosen by Orgless. They will be attacking. Second, it will indeed be Kafe Dostoyevsky, with Unrefined attacking, and the decider, if it comes to it, will be Clubhouse. Observing today, we have our very good friend Snook, and it will be Unrefined up with the first operator ban for tonight. We will see any second now who it is. And it is Thatcher. Normal ban there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Thatcher is a very, very strong operator and one that's a bit of a nuisance to be dealt with. So a good choice on the part of Unrefined. They've got to defend for the first half, and Thatcher makes it really, really hard. So yeah, it will be Orgless with the next one, and it is Montana. Probably botching that pronunciation a bit, but I'm not French, so deal with it. Monty, another strong operator. You have to bring, either a Legion or a Smoke, someone along those likes to deal with him. And it's really, really just a bit of a waste of time. So it will be Orgless with the first defensive ban. Maestro, another strong operator. Those evil eyes do so much alongside that big old Elder and the Bailiff pocket shotty. Maestro really is the complete package and a great ban. As we've seen the chat paper oranges. Asking about the Monty ban. The final ban for the first map will be Echo, another one, and that's both of the plant denial operators gone right there. So it will fall mainly on bulletproof cams, Valkyrie, and it on Mozzie in terms of getting intel. And on a map like Theme Park, it really can help to have intel on defense. Speaking of defense, it will be Unrefined up first, choosing to defend the Armory Throne Room. We see a Jackal being bought by Flux Zeus on the part of Orgless. Very, very good choice there. Theme Park is still a roamer's paradise even after its rework, and Jackal can really help to track down, especially the Jaeger or the Valkyrie tend to be the roamers in terms of this operator setup. So good for them. Prep phase getting started up now. We see Cairo also bring Thermite, a buck from Matthias, Dinkle on the Zofia, and Geo with the Nomad. Pretty standard operator selections there, especially with the Buck and the Nomad. Once again, Nomad with the Roam Denial and Buck, so very useful in assisting to clear out those Kaid claws, as well as just putting pressure on the site from above. Paper Oranges, we'll get a look at where he places the Black Eyes, and we see there one in a nice little nook down onto apparently Paper Oranges doesn't quite like cats, so one looking down Yellow Corridor and another one in Barrels. And yeah, we will see, as predicted, Don't One Tap Me Please and Paper Oranges both roaming, that is the Jaeger and the Valkyrie respectively, and the final Black Eye going out near the staircase. So, pushing quite heavily from the east side now is Orgless. It will be Zofia. Don't one tap me though. He's using that 416 to hold quite a pixel peak. You see in the chat, GSF Toad not too happy about that ping. Not much we can do about it, mate. Spraying through, however, is gets the down onto Don't One Tap Me Please. That is a big early frag there. Perhaps doesn't realize that Paper Oranges is nearby. Looking for the reflag though. Pushing up safely, cannot get the pick off, teabagging up and down is Matthias. He gets a second with the pistol. Two straight off the bat for Matthias. Fantastic job by him. I'm not a Smurf. F in the chat for me. And Matthias, although low, has done a great job in taking down the two roamers on Unrefined, and that is massive. See that Black Eye coming out. I'm not a Smurf, however, gets the Nitro Cell off onto Flux Zeus. Great job by him as well. We see the floor above B site being opened up there by the Buck. I'm not a Smurf. Still set in that corner. GSF Toad peeking upwards, looking for the picks. And things have settled down for a second now. Both teams playing it slow. They've realized that that little rush perhaps was a bit too spontaneous, resulted in two valuable casualties. That's, especially the Nitro Cell on Paper going down so early really limits the impact that he can have. So, as we come up on 1 minute left now, operators on the defensive side are relegated to sit in the objective. You see two of them set in corners, waiting for this exothermic charge to go off as it goes. Blowing open that wall. See there, Doc peeking it, however. GSF Toad looking for that pick down corridor. He's got that castle barricade to his right for safe for the time being. Flashes from Cairo coming in though, gets tagged. Still at about 80 health, however. GSF Toad biding his time, perhaps has a tiny bit of an advantage in terms of fire rate, but it will be Cairo that gets Toad. Dinkle with a great shot onto Paralyze. I'm not as fun with the slow shotty. That's his second for the round, but Geo gets it off, and that is an tackle win there for the first round of this series. And oh my gosh, I think if Unrefined had done a bit of a better job in roaming, we saw both Don't One Tap Me Please and Paper Oranges going down so early in the round. It really just put all of the advantage in the hands of Orgless. So we see a Jaeger now being picked by I'm Not a Smurf. Don't One Tap Me Please. Moving over on to Legion, and Valkyrie is still being driven by Paper Oranges. Of course, as I say that, he 6 picks over to Castle. Solid pick on any site as they look to once again defend the Armory Throne Room objective. Whew, things are speeding along. That was an explosive start to this series, the second series tonight in AEC Season 3 Minor League. GSF Toad once again on that dock. He is such a useful operator, especially with the bulletproof cam and that beloved 2.5 times zoom scope. He really does bring a lot of use to the defensive side, even though he couldn't get that shot off onto Cairo last round. Bandit there, you see him putting down those CED instead of Qaid's Electro Claws. Pretty similar operators as they go. I think there's definitely a lot more room to deny hard breach with Bandit, as his Bandit boxes have a much quicker deploy time, and you can put them down on individual walls. And Qaid's Electricals are fairly static in the way that they can play out. We see Fluxus again on the Jackal, looking to peek those roamers, and by all accounts, it looks like Orgless' roamers. Definitely thinking it a bit safer. However, we see Jaeger still peeking bathroom. Takes his time, however, realizes that it's not the best idea when you have half of the attacking team trying to flush you out. Dinkle now looking down the hallway. Jackal, however, is already pushed up and in. He's in initiation already, and that is great. He's got the Jackal scan onto I'm Not a Smurf. That is big. Sat in daycare. I am a Smurf. I'm not a Smurf, rather. Just holding those angles, waiting time. The I-12S proving useful in tagging a breach. Fluxus, great shot there with the C7 onto I'm Not a Smurf. Although he doesn't do much in the way of kills, he has slowed down Orgless in their attack a bit, but now they have top floor control. We see Matthias again doing a lot of work. He got 2 kills last round, none of them actually vertically, both in that bathroom. Nonetheless, he did a great job and is peeking through, looking for the outlines of any of those defenders. He's not going to find them though. That's half the round gone now, and by all accounts, Orgless have done a great job so far. Shots coming out there from the UMP of Paper Oranges. Not going to land anything, however. Taking their time, that castle barricade is there, but it will subsequently be breached by Dinkle. Also taking out the barbed wire right next to it. Air jabs coming out as well. Cairo looking to blow up that wall in Yellow Corridor, and he does quite easily without any resistance. GSF Toad, once again in that same corner, he gets pinged there by the drone of Dinkle. Less than a minute left now. Orgless still taking their time pushing into sight. Dinkle pushing up, very aggressive with the... Struggling to land the final blow though, but will take down GSF Toad. He's not expecting the push. Dinkle, very aggressive. It pays off quite well. Matthias getting one. He's no longer upstairs, however, but he does take out the castle of Paper Oranges. Paralyzed gets taken out by Dinkle, and Geo again with the finishing kill onto Don't One Tap Me Please. And that is a flawless round for Orgless, and a great job so far. Interesting. It was Orgless' map pick theme park, so they clearly have done a lot of scrims, a lot of practice on it, and it's working out quite well. And even though Unrefined chose to be on defense first, it's not quite working. So it's 2-0 up. We start to enter round 3. I'm Not a Smurf, appearing to be the only person with any sort of frags on the part of Unrefined. It's a bit more spread out. However, on Orgless, Matthias six-clicking away from the buck onto Maverick. Maverick's an interesting one. A lot of mixed opinions. As we also see Smoke be six-picked out to Goyo. We've talked about it time and time again, so Goyo is strong. Goyo is very good. So it will be Unrefined now, perhaps recognizing that Throne Room's a bit too hard to defend against a team that's clearly come prepared to fight on theme park, and instead choosing to go upstairs to the daycare bunks objective. I believe that's still called bunks in that room. Vigil, he's dedicated roamer, so hopefully Don't One Tap Me Please will be a bit more successful in his efforts off-site. However, both a Wamai and a Jaeger being definitely looking to counter the effectiveness of the projectiles on the part of Orgless. We see they've got 6 stuns, they've got 2 smokes, they've got frag grenades. It's a lot of things, a lot of throwables available for use there. So with any luck, both Paper Oranges and I'm Not a Smurf can really hold off the attacking side in terms of throwable gadgets. Again, pushing from the east side, it's a favorite site, and we see a Mozzie being played on that entry to the cash room just to really waste one of those attacker drones. But as it is, no Mozzie. However, we do see Paralyze. He's in that bathroom, and he's definitely looking for that pick onto whoever walks through. Cairo droning out, notices the outline of the Vigil, but he won't find him. Sorry, he's actually... oh my gosh, Paralyzed sat in the corner with a Goryu shield out, hoping to camouflage himself. Hasn't quite worked out, and he's decided that he'll instead scamper back to site and sit there nice and tight. Dinkle, once again, showing a lot of aggression. He's only got a hollow, but he's still spraying down alongside. It's not going to find anybody, but it will be don't want the first kill of the match. Great shot onto the head of Dinkle there, and that's one of Orgless' most aggressive players taken out already. Geo also getting taken out by Don't Want At Me Please. However, in the process gets taken down quite low. Flux Zeus using the Seat to great effect, getting his second one onto Paper Oranges. And on the flip of a coin, it is back to 3v3 again. Jackal Ping's coming out, however. Cairo using that exothermic charge to breach, looking for that sightline down near Cafe, as he also looks to get the sightline into fronts. Air jabs everywhere, however. Goryu is being pinged as it looks like Fluxus is looking to rotate around for the other side. The Wamai of I'm Not a Smurf has been found out where he is, but for now he's in a pretty safe spot. The Maverick, however, of Matthias, shooting what I believe to be magnets down there as he looks for a grenade. This could be big, and it goes into the side, but it gets caught by a magnet and it will not do what it hoped. That is the usefulness of a Wamai. GSF Toad gets Matthias, but Cairo really refrags onto I'm Not a Smurf. Straight back to a 2v2. Spraying through is Cairo. They're coming up in 30 seconds now. Orgless have got to work hard, and it looks like Flux Zeus is having some issues with his internet, but Cairo will continue. Great shot onto Paralyzed now. That's his second. Flux Zeus has unfortunately left the game, so it'll be Cairo all by himself with the diffuser against GSF Toad. GSF Toad sat there in the cafe corner. Perhaps doesn't realize that the plan is going down on Cairo. Will realize it's a bit too late, and he's a chunky 3 armor. He makes a lot of noise when he moves, so Cairo's advantage now in a post-plant situation. Looking through the retake, looking through the rotate is GSF Toad. With that ACOG, he's not going to find one. Playing behind the bomb, knows he's got enough time. He's also a 3 armor spraying, however, he will get a shot off onto Cairo. So he's about 70 health now. He hasn't got the advantage, rotates back out to initiation, however, the timer clocks down. The diffuser gets spotted there by GSF Toad. He's not going to have enough time if he keeps going the way he does. He's looking for the frag, doesn't realize that Thermite's backed out to initiation. Not enough time. He goes for the diffuse. But a great play by Cairo as he really rubs salt in the wound there. As we look, we might have to rehost, but didn't really matter because even though Orgless lost a man, undeservedly, they still won. As we see Fluxus is back in the game, we should be able to continue, and so far it is a dominant performance from Orgless. 3-0 up. Doesn't seem like Unrefined can do anything to stave off this overwhelming attack on the part. We see the same, mostly the same operator lineup on attack. A couple of changes in terms of defense. Dinkle using that 6th pick to go back to what he knows, the IQ with the G8. It's a great gun, often underused in comparison to the Org and the 5.52. But when you've got 50 bullets to spray down range, you will take it. So we see a return to Throne Room once again for round 4. I'm Not a Smurf. Again, I talked about how Mozzie is often used in that exact way. It's just designed to take drones away from the attackers and really reduce the amount of intel available for them on the map. It's really a free drone there because any of the attackers that want to push through the cash room need to drone it out to make sure that there are no defenders sitting in the bathroom holding those pixel peaks. So it's a good piece of utility to play it. We also don't see a castle this time, however, instead seeing Paralyze on the pulse. So that might make things a bit more interesting, I think is the word that I'll use. Castle is such a nuanced operator that it really can have a lot of different effects. I'm not a smurf going for a peek with that Commander 9. It's a great weapon, but only if you land your shots. It can't do anything against thin air. So nothing really done from that. Low risk, low reward. Or no reward, rather. Fluxus really mastering that Jack. Been very influential in Orgless' success so far. Several times he's been able to use that Inox headgear of his to track down roamers, even track down those on site, and just put a bit more pressure onto them. As we see, 4 of the defenders will be in sight, and it will only be Paper Oranges, who's now rotated over to Jaeger. Looking through a melee hole down onto Yellow Corridor, it seems like Jaeger's being shared around a bit by Unrefined. No one person's really stuck with him that much. And straight away, top floor control will be taken out. Dinkle gets paralyzed down so low with that P12, but the Nitro Self-Smurf comes out and takes out Matthias. That's the butt gun. That's a lot of soft destruction as we see 1 stim, 2 stims come out from GSF Toad, taking paralyzed close enough up to full health that the efforts of Dinkle have not had a net impact. We see that exothermic charge going off now. That's 1 down, still 1 left for Cairo. Fluxus looking for that pick with the C7E. He's not going to find it, however, as we tick on down. It will still be Geo gets the shot off onto I'm Not a Smurf, also shooting out an air jab in the process. 4v4 now. Paper Oranges still unnoticed over by the drug lab. And might be able to get a flank off onto here. Tags out Cairo, isn't able to get the kill, but Pete gets Geo now. He's still got control. Cairo so low that he's got to be careful. Fluxus has arrived to support Paralyze, still using that cardiac sensor to try for those pings. Fluxus only getting the green ping on the Inox scanner. Spraying through the walls, not going to find him. Pushing up, however, will allow Cairo to get the exothermic charge. Paper Oranges wasn't expecting Fluxus so close as Fluxus gets the kill. 3v3 now. Pushing up is Dinkle. Flashes getting thrown into the site. GSF Toad not in the same corner as last time. Still tucked away. Looking for that kill. Spraying is don't one tap me please. He's not going to find anything. Coming up on 15 seconds, the final flash comes out. Fluxus pushing in, gets 1, gets 2. Great job by him. That's his 3rd for the round. However, GSF Toad manages to get Cairo. He's all by himself. He can't get himself up. Great round. Another great round from Orgless. And Unrefined slipping away. Not able to hold on. And it is really hard for them, or it will be hard for them to claw back any sort of decent win here. You know, it's round 5 and they've just struggled to gain any sort of a foothold. And by all accounts, Orgless has played this for the most part picture perfect. They've come in methodically. They've droned their angles. They've checked all the nooks and crannies, and it has led to some decisive wins. As we see Unrefined moving back up to bunk daycare. We will see Matthias switch out from his beloved Buck over to Zofia instead, as we also see a switch pick on 6th pick on the defensive side to the Valkyrie on the part of Paralyze. 4-0. It is clearly in the advantage of Orgless. This is what they wanted. This is what they trained for. Black Eye goes out. That's a great sightline, actually. That's one for the viewers to take out to their ranked games. No, it's not Coconut Bra, it's Paralyze. Looking for those drones there. Interesting. Don't want to have me, please. Alibi. Personally, I'm a fan of Alibi. I like her. She's fun. She's got a pretty decent gun. And I have the Pro League set for her, and I want to show that off. But regardless, it will be Don't Want to Tap Me Please playing her and not me. And we'll see if he can do any effect for that. Toad sticking with that dark. He's been good. He's done his job. He's steamed up his teammates in the past couple of rounds, and definitely using that ACOG to great effect. We see I'm Not a Smurf trying to get that Rotilla Electric Claw in the perfect position to electrify all three walls, and he looks as if he's got it with the second Electric Claw, looking to zhuzh up that deployable shield. The Ella, however, of Paper Oranges will be sat in initiation. She's being droned out, but they know that she's there. In offices is Don't One Tap Me Please with Alibi as well. Definitely looking to maintain a bit more control over the eastern side of the map. If not to get kills, then at least to waste time, as that has proven to be Orgless' biggest enemy so far. Spraying through is Geo. He's done a lot of good work with Nomad, but it would be Dingle with the first kill onto Paper Oranges in initiation. That is that sort of southeastern side of the map lost now. But there is Geo getting I'm Not a Smurf now, 5v3, even though we got pinged by earlier. Dingle pushing in. Don't One Tap Me Please. Taken down quite low in the process. Shot will be Cairo. He's chosen to take an angle and vertical instead of hollow and angled this time. Interesting. We see Dinkle taking out that black eye. No trouble for him. And the Zofia of Matthias is sat in Cafe, watching a lot of rotates. Flux Zeus proving how solid he is, getting GSF Toad. Paralyzed getting a quick trade onto Matthias, getting another one onto Dinkle, but Flux Zeus continuing to power on in terms of fragged, gets the final kill. I'm Not a Smurf, having a bit of fun in chat. Close game, fellas, he says. Hope I don't have to point out the sarcasm there. It's 5-0. Round 6. Final round of this half. And it will be another bunk daycare defense. Orgless continuing on their tyranny. This theme park map is their home and they are loving it. Dingle at the top of the leaderboard for Orgless. Clearly, his aggressive playstyle is paying off quite well, as it's, for the most part, caught the defenders on Unrefined off guard. We see Matthias once again proving that he can play a couple of different operators, switching from Sophia to Hibana. That's 2 hard breaches now, perhaps in response to the mirror of I'm Not a Smurf. We'll probably see a traditional setup here in terms of mirror, but Paralyzed has brought a Capcan. Now, Capcan is an operator that is so often played wrong. You know, we see it all the time, even in ranked games. You see Capcan players slapping down those EDDs on the OBJ and inside bomb sites. But, they're small enough to be unnoticed and unchecked for when you put them, like Paralyze is doing, in common entryways, in little spots where attackers won't expect them, but will still walk through them. So we see that they can also function as an intel, a source of intel in a roundabout sort of way, because the attackers either have to shoot them, giving away their position, or run through and they'll, get blown up, which tends to give away the position of where you are. I'm not sure what GSF Toad is doing. He's mucking around a bit, I think, having fun with Doc. And it will actually look as if a significant change in tactics here from Unrefined. They are looking to maintain massive control of Office and of Initiation, as they know that this is the way that Orgless have been pushing every single time. Smokes come up onto the mirror, however, allowing... Geo's still set back, but it's allowed Dinkle, who's chosen to move on over to the 5-5-2. Pushing up Flux Zeus, looking at the hatch, spraying through will be Dinkle, head of I'm Not a Smurf, and that's the mirror gone, and that's Office. Now mostly in control of the attacking side. He's got that mirror to his advantage now, and can begin his push onto Initiation. He has got to watch out for that doorway, however. More smoke's going off. Chooses to pop the mirror. Perhaps he's a bit of a point man. Paper Oranges finds one, but isn't expecting. Geo so close. Flux Zeus goes down to the hand of the Legion. Geo getting his second, so low, but gets GSF Toad now. So it is Don't Want to Tap Me Please and Paralyze up against the world. It's a 2v4. Granted, Geo is low enough to die fairly easily, but Dinkle is still there. That exothermic charge going off onto the bunk's wall will allow more entry to the attackers. We saw those track stingers at the top. Dinkle is now inside. He doesn't have the diffuser, but he's looking for it. Perhaps here's the drop down of Don't Want to Tap Me Please Joe. Also putting into tap, expecting him to run up the stairs, and he finds the head of Paralyze as well. Don't Want to Tap Me Please alone in a 1v4. He's stuck in Cafe. He couldn't be more cornered if he tried. Matthias, very aggressive push with the bearing 9, and he finds the kill. Whew. It is a dominant performance here from Orgless. They are doing so much, and Unrefined really just cannot counter it. There's no real way of putting it. If this is the way that this series will be, it should be quite easy for you, the audience, to predict who will win. Anyway, it's match point 6-0 in favor of Orgless, and the roles have switched. So the aforementioned team shall switch over to the defensive side, choosing bunker daycare as their first objective. And Unrefined on the attacking side, looking to switch. Nook is switched out for Maverick. IQ being Pro, Thermite, Sophia, and Jackal. Once again, the standard picks. Nothing too special at all. So we get started. Dinkle has proven himself just to be a really sort of fearless, quite a fearless player. You know, and especially as he's shown himself to quite favour the 3 speeds of Rainbow Six, playing IQ most, if not all, of the attacking rounds, and now playing Mozzie. He clearly likes to get up close and personal, and it's worked out by all accounts. You see, he's got 8 kills, he's also got 2 assists and 2 deaths. Exact same stats, interestingly, as Flex Zeus, who, although he hasn't really shone above, he's continued to get those frags and play as a utility role, which has been great for him. I jinx it, I think, as he leaves the game once again. I'm not a Smurf in the chat asking to go for a third map, please. Clearly got a good sense of humour. The Legion of Cairo. Playing an initiation, Dinkle claiming to want sleep. Well, don't we all, mate? It's the weekend, though. You can stay up a bit late. I'm sure your mum's pushed back your bedtime a tiny bit, at least. If not, you just tell her to message me. So Matthias sat there in office, looking to hold on to it. I don't think we'll see any surprises here. Unrefined, although, you know, they do have some tricks up their sleeve. Orgless are just too good. Cairo there, still in initiation, watching for that drop down. Paralyze is on that drop down, looking for Cairo, and it will be Geo getting the pick with the SMG-11 onto GSF toe. That's the Jackal down, sniffing out those footsteps, but either way, it's not enough. Dinkle spraying through the billet hole, and a great shot onto I'm Not a Smurf. That's the thermite down. I'm Not a Smurf. He's not too happy. Why would you ever have cat banned if you're in a game with I'm Not a Smurf? Dinkle with his second onto paper oranges. Cairo T5 shot onto Don't Want to Tap Me Please. Paralyze gets taken down to half health. Pushing up is Dinkle, and it will be Geo with his second kill of the round onto Paralyze, and that is the first map, 7-0 in favor of Orgless. And yeah, not much to say. I think we all witnessed what happened. Sometimes you just have you know, a misbalance in terms of skill, in stark contrast to our previous match between Altered Edge and Downfall. That one certainly quite one-sided. So anyway, we will cut out to an ad break. Stick with us and we'll be with you soon. Hello and welcome back. We are on our second series of the night. It is Orgless versus Unrefined with one map under their belt. It was 7-0 in favor of Orgless. We are now on Kafe, Unrefined attacking first and Orgless with the first operator banned. It was a dominant performance from them last map. First up, Thatcher. I don't think I've casted a map where Thatcher hasn't been banned. He's just too strong, too annoying to go against, and on the whole, pretty standard ban. I think I sound like a broken record when I say that, because it happens a lot. Unrefined with the next one. And it is... it's a Fuse. Well, as we all know, Fuse is massively overpowered. So I think we should all tag Ubisoft in our Twitter, in our Facebook, Instagram, whatever we have. Tag Ubisoft and ask them to nerf Fuse because he's just too strong. Jaeger ban. Do I really have to say anything? I don't think so. That's a Jaeger ban. Unrefined, I think, clearly have realised they haven't got much of a chance against Orgless. And just out there to vibe, really. That's probably the best way to put it, with Maestro being banned by Orgless. So, round one, defense for Orgless. And it will look as if they will go straight up to the top floor. Bar, cocktail lounge. Jackal being taken by GSF Toad. Looking to flush out those roamers. Dokkaby on the part of Paper Oranges, going to assist him with that. Buck, very vital in vertical play. Ash, traditionally seen as a fragger, but can also assist in that vertical play. She has those two Krem breaching rounds. I'm not a Smurf, switching out, using that sixth pick to go from Nook to Amaru. Amaru's very fun and actually somewhat viable on Kafe. If you're in a quick match and you have Amaru, definitely worth having a bit of a muck about with her, as she can be quite the fun operator. Sixth pick on the defensive side. Flux Zeus with the Echo, that's pretty good. Oh, the game chat this match has been popping off. Paralyzed, Orgless losses. It shall be interesting. Both of Wamai. Actually, there's no Jaeger being brought, so just the Wamai on Dinkle. Interesting, he's proven himself to be a bit of an aggressive player. And his type would generally be more suited to a 3-speed person with a slightly better performing AR, but instead chooses to go with Wamai, who is another fun operator that you should definitely give a try if you haven't before. Pretty standard setup here from both teams. I'm not a Smurf. Though a bit disappointed to see that it's not suppressed. Really expected more of him, to be honest. Regardless, Unrefined straight up to the roof. Breaching rounds coming out. I'm not a Smurf, looking to shoot open that window, perhaps before he Gara hook up into it. First logic bomb gets dropped, flashes coming out from I'm not a Smurf, not all successful. And he knows there's a defender there because he can hear him, but instead chooses to go for the long range Gara hook straight in. Doesn't quite work out, gets caught out by the UMP of Cairo Matthias, using the MP5, UMP's cousin, to take off the head of GSF Toad. Unrefined, 2 men down, best part of 2 minutes left, still vibing, down in the lobby. Buck doing his best to open up, Dingle getting one. Looking for a second with the pistol. He's not going to find Paralyzed. That does take him down to a very low health state. Echo jumps out the window and back down to the lobby. They know that he's there. They're going to struggle to really push him. Pixel peek through the door into reading will be Dinkle with a second, and Flux Zeus getting another one. That's a flawless round for Orgless. And I think good shot there from Flux. He's proven himself to be a valuable asset, but the gameplay speaks for itself, I think. Unrefined, really not trying too hard. As we can see, a Finka, Blitz, Jackal, and Maverick so far being picked. Monty and Maverick's swapping to a Blackbeard. As the defensive site goes down to the bottom floor objective, kitchen service, kitchen cooking, or we could just call it all kitchen. No real need for the distinction, it's just one big block. I'm Not a Smurf, 6 picking from Blackbeard to Maverick, and Matthias sticking with Wamai. He was fairly effective with him last round, and continuing to stay with the Kenyan operator. Dinkle once again looking to roam with that Vigil. Fluxus proving that he can frag and serve as a utility operator. He has been massive these last couple of matches. He's now on Legion, and I think if anyone can really master that T5, it will be Flux. Reinforcements all around. Perhaps a small bit of a miscommunication there with that castle barricade having to be ripped down. Nonetheless, it shall not have a massive impact. So it looks, for the most part, to be a hold downstairs. Paralyzed. He's just having some fun at this point. Finger boost goes off. GSF Toad with Blitz chooses to rush into the site. Hits the goo mine though. Orgless not taking any chances, memeing about. They just want the win at this point. Everyone wants to go to bed, I think. Doing his best with Blitz. Cairo with the team kill onto him. As he is getting Jackal pinged. That's the first kill. Dinkle evens up the odds though with paper oranges. From above though, missing his shots onto Blitz. However, it will be Geo that takes out GSF Toad. Flux getting paralyzed as well. I'm Not a Smurf is left all by himself as Flux takes out. Don't one tap me, please. I'm Not a Smurf. He's on about 30 health, and he's all by himself. Almost a bit of team killing going on there. I'm Not a Smurf. He's just sat there in the corner, letting the defenders come to him. Perhaps trying to save the KD. Who knows? He's got an M4. It's a good enough weapon. Jesus, perhaps to drone it. He's in a 1v4. Let's be honest here. The amount of times a person clutches out a 1v4 and the amount of times he just gets killed straight off. And now the Legion knows that he's there as well. Impacts the castle wall. Perhaps looking for the push. Pre-firing. I'm Not a Smurf will find Get another onto I'm Not a Smurf. Kafe, it seems, is the place for memeing. So, that round goes in the way of Orgless. Paper Oranges asking for a knife fight. Dinkle, however, refusing. I think that's a bit of a shame. I think that would be quite fun. Quite fun to see. But, nonetheless... Apologies for the language in the chat there. Nothing we can really do about that. If you really are offended, close your eyes. As you can see, our observers trying to mute the chat. It's not quite working. Orgless on defense. Reading room, fireplace objective. Pretty standard tertiary site. As things go, still taking things seriously enough. Again, GSF Toad on the Blitz, Paper Oranges on the Finker. Just looking to have a good time at this point, I think. So, as the action phase starts to begin, Fluxus continuing his role. He is really being quite a standout for me tonight, and personally would be getting the coach's award if I and if the honestly gave a but anyway, he is playing Goryu, and we all know how powerful Goryu can be. Kara, he's nipped one of those drones. He's going to use it, and it's a pretty quick push downstairs from Unrefined. Crouch walking up the lobby stairs will be I'm Not a Smurf. The first nano boost comes out from Paper Oranges. I believe that's a hacked drone, excuse me, that has been taken out there by I'm Not a Smurf. He's not toxic. He's doing his team a favor by denying enemy intel. See there, Cairo. Just chilling inside. He's got a deployable shield. Cover. He should do fairly well to stave off the attackers. He's got a fairly strong position. Geo, peeking with the M590A1. First Falcon shield gets detonated. I'm Not a Smurf taking a bit of damage for it, but just runs straight down white stairs. Will subsequently be taken out by the Commando 9 of Cairo. A bit of a failed attempt there. Paper Oranges, though, with that massive LMG, getting the shot onto Matthias. Dinkle getting GSF towed. Paralyzed, trading straight back on to Dinkle. So it's actually a 3v3 now. GSF towed and I'm Not a Smurf dead. But it will still be Don't One Tap Me Please, Paper Oranges, and Paralyze, albeit at half health. Looking to try win this round for Unrefined. Still 2-0, still early days in terms of map. But I think there is quite clearly a skill difference here as we see Don't Want to Have Me Please going down to Flux Zeus, showing absolutely no mercy. That machine gun that is the Vector will find Don't Want to Have Me Please. Now it's Paper Oranges and Paralyze all by themselves. They're in train. Spraying is Cairo. He's not going to land a shot though. The LMG spray comes out and it doesn't stop. He's got 100 bullets in that thing, but it is cut short by Geo and his SMG-11. Paralyzed left all by himself. And the Nitro from Flux Zeus finds Paralyze. He was too low to dodge it. Really had no other options, and the Nitro landed basically right next to him. No surprises there. Paper Oranges. So we look, Flux Zeus is at the top of the leaderboard here for Orgless. Well deserved, I think. He's got 6 kills, and he's done a lot for his team. Continuing on defense, they will go back upstairs to Bar Cocktail. Dinkle choosing Alibi. We've talked earlier today about how fun Alibi can be and also how powerful in particular situations, albeit very, very, very specific situations as they come to shields on the part of Unrefined. And I really should wait to talk about the operators until the 6th phase is over, as we see Alibi being switched out for Huanai by Dinkle. Paper Oranges sticking with that massive 6P41 LMG on Finger. It's an okay gun. And as it goes, definitely one of Finker's better weapon choices. And when you got 100 bullets to spray down range, it can just be fun holding down that trigger. Or clicking mouse 1. GSF Toad running the revolver alongside Leroc. I think we all can take a short trip down memory lane and remember the good old days. Hip firing people across the map with that Magnum. Alas, no more. Spawn peek coming out from Matthias. Now that's just mean. At this point in the map in the series, it's just not very nice. A nano boost, however, right off the bat coming off. And a second one, I believe, straight away as well. Paper Oranges. You know, you're not even a minute in and he's already got one down. I'm Not a Smurf being taken down fairly low. Decides to just dump that entire AK mag. Doesn't find anyone. And the third nano boost going off now. To little avail Red stairs. Control's been pretty much taken. Geo with a nitro cell. Take no one out, nor none health. Pushing up will be GSF Toad. He knows there's someone behind him. He's lost all hope at this point. Geo's still there behind that shield. Paralyzed, trying to contest. He's not going to find it. Cairo finds I'm not a smurf. That's the Nomad down now. Peeking down the lobby stairs. Dinkle looking for that shot. Paper Oranges. Cairo with that beast of an LMG. Shield is still somewhere on the map. He's rotating over to white alongside the rest of his surviving teammates as it is. Less than 90 seconds. Peeking will be Matthias on the dock. Dinkle on the flank with that lovely orb. Spraying for his feet. Paralyzed is very low now. The flash, however, does miss. Melee comes out. Matthias showing no mercy. Don't want to be pleased is looking at the flank rover and takes out Dinkle. It's actually a 2v3. We've seen them in worse positions as it goes. Paper Orange is still up on the roof. Don't want at me. Looking to contest up white stairs. There's that LMG. He can do an okay job. Paper Oranges looking to breach red hatch now. Less than a minute. Spraying down white stairs. Unfortunately, don't want at me. Area Matthias gets his second for the round. And Geo's happy to sit behind that shield under the protection of signal jammers and magnet. Actually decides to peek with the shotgun. Gets one. The drop shot from Matthias, however, punished heavily by Paper Oranges. As he gets his third for the round, he's still above half health. Flux Zeus is left all by himself now against Paper Oranges, though he does have Yokai drones. He's going for the ping. Fake plant there from Paper Oranges. Peeking with the LMG, still getting pinged by the various devices of Intel. There's not quite enough time, and there's still Yokai drones in play. The fuser goes down in time, though. Flux not quick enough with the Yokai drone. Using that slightly odd-angled deployable shield. Paper Orange is hiding behind it, but Flux Zeus knows exactly where he is and is able to use the ACOG on that MP5 SD to get a fantastic shot off there. And I think, that sums up the series. The various devices are in Unrefined, showing that they do have skill quick enough with the and they can using that some sort of success can get points on the leaderboard, at least in terms of kills. But Orgless, the superior team nonetheless. If they go downstairs to the kitchen objective once again, it is around 5-4-0 up in favor of Orgless. Things have definitely not been as fun in this series as we have seen in the past, as is the opportunity for in this game. Paralyze, switch 6th, picking up from Dogby to Sledge. Fluxus once again on the lead. Dinkle on the Huemai also. Matthias, he's an interesting one. He's certainly shown the variety that he brings to the table. He's now playing Doc. Geo again on mute with the shotgun, and Cairo on the castle. GSF Toad on Ash. Paper Oranges continuing to run finger with the LMG. We actually had a fair amount of success last round with that LMG. You see there magnets all around that room. Matthias being one of the most toxic players we have seen Paper off the bat, and that is a spawn pick that I will be using tonight once we are all done here, because I am also a toxic player as it goes. Quick rush from I'm not a smurf, but that door is castled open. GSF spraying down will be able to get the kill. He's not expecting Fluxus just to be laying prone in the hallway, however, and gets immediately refragged. Both Dinkle and Fluxus are there. Fluxus finding second, proving that he is indeed a diamond player and not some phony that's been carried up there. He was start to peek though, he's looking the wrong way, but the fire from I'm Not a Smurf will Dingle. Fluxus gets his third onto I'm Not a Smurf. Don't want Tap Me Please pushing down the stairs. Fluxus knows that he's there and gets the fourth for the round. Only beat out from the ace by that initial spawn peak by Matthias. Oh my. There are teams that would just give up at this point. Unrefined, although having fun with it, still sticking with at least trying to get kills. GSF Toad being the main one that former round, as he now chooses to go Lion. Orgless, instead of choosing to move to the second floor reading room for his objective. Glad's being bought by I'm Not a Smurf. Jackal by Paralyze. Come on, Tap Me Please is running the Asher. And I think perhaps Dinkle has realised that they're not gonna lose. Might lose a round. Might even lose 2 rounds. Chances of that are minuscule, but still possible. So he's decided to have a bit of fun with Clash, who by all accounts can be a fun operator. However, the way that Orgless are setting it up, clearly showing that they are taking this seriously, which I think at this point doesn't need to be proved. Someone fetch Matthias some deodorant because he's sweating it so very hard. Really go for the spawn peak again though? That is the question of the day. Fluxus once again on the Goryu. And yes, the answer is yes, Matthias will go for a spawn peak. Clash chat in the window, looking to distract. Peeking he will not quite see an operator, struggling to stay on top of the bump. He still has angles available. Oh, Dinkle. Unrefined know that that window is open and they're watching it. To no effect, however. Matthias's spawn peek is unsuccessful as of yet. Peeking it is GSF Toad with a suppressed P9. He's having a bit of fun. Matthias takes a bit of damage alongside Dinkle, taking absolutely minimal hit points off of it. And the Goryu of Fluxus peeking down over lobby. Guys, that window's open. Matthias continuing to peek out of the piano windows. Not going to find anyone, however. Dinkle foregoing the shield in favour of his SMG. GSF Toad going very fast into sight with the French shotgun and is unable to get the kill. It will be Cairo with the Commander 9 getting the shot off. Up the top of the couch, looking for it. Stims coming out from Matthias. He only has one left now. Fluxus still maintaining adequate control of top floor, supported by his teammates in piano, that being Geo and Dinkle. Cairo determined to get some kills with the Commando 9. Fluxus, however, will find Paralyze in red hatch. Dinkle still playing Clash, having a bit of fun. They know there's nobody on red hatch. Geo finds the head of Don't One Tap Me Please. It wasn't a one tap, but it was a headshot, which might as well be a one tap as things go in Rainbow Six Siege. Less than a minute left. Paper Oranges is prone. Cairo pushing up, gets his second. Does take a bit of damage, but only at 75 health. Fluxus in a great position to get some kills. I'm Not a Smurf. Not really caring at this point. Sat in the corner of VIP section. What do we reckon he's eating? It is a cafe after all. And Glaz is a Russian VIP as they come.
15 seconds left.
Matthias knows exactly where he is.
10 seconds left.
Looking for the pill, wants to wants to pad his stats a bit, wants to get the MVP off. He peeks the wrong way, but neither will get the kill. Orgless protecting the bombs as it reaches the halfway point of this, the second map of this series, and in all likelihood the final map. It is Orgless. 6-0 match point. The roles have flipped. It will now be Unrefined on defense, taking it up to the bar cocktail lounge. Objective GSF Toad running clash again. We can only presume that Paper Oranges and Don't Want At Me Please are going for some sort of spawn peak. Paralyze on the Covert for some reason. Matthias leaning a bit into it and not taking it so seriously. Once again, I say that too soon, switching from Blitz to Dokkaebi. Paralyze also switching from Covert to Legion.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
I think we might see our night end here. And already, Don't Want At Me Please is better than about 60% of Rook mains in casual, as he's actually put down his armor. It looks as if GSF Toad and Don't Want At Me Please,
locate and defuse a bomb.
as Orgless, using Clash as a... This is mean! Honestly, Matthias. Don't Want At Me Please gets one tap. Insert joke about irony here. Tinkle, moving very fast up road stairs, does hit the goo mine. Doesn't matter. Grenades galore flying in through that window, but it will pick up. Gets the shot off onto Dinkle. Not going down without some sort of fight. Hatches open and in control of Orgless rather. Track stingers going out, Matthias repelling, looking for a pick with that Mark 14. Manages to down Paper Oranges, but as he is a doc, he gets himself back up. Geo, using the F90, gets the pick onto GSF Toad. Paper Oranges, all ladder stims, Paralyze, and I'm Not a Smurf. Missing his shots will be Paralyze, only managing to land a few. And Paper Oranges also getting Matthias immediately. And I'm Not a Smurf is left all by himself against 3 of Orgless's finest. Cairo getting the defuse go down. And poor Fluxus hitting 2 goo mines at once, but obviously with his recent nerf doesn't make any sort of difference. I'm Not a Smurf just laying in supply closet. Fluxus knows that he's there, but the shotgun will still get the... He's trying to go for the long-range shotgun kill, but Geo instead drops down with the super shorty. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Another 7-0 victory for Orgless, and a 2-0 map win for them as well. And what a night it has been. We started off with a fantastic match between Edge and Downfall. Although it was tightly contested, Altered Edge managed to get the 2-0 map win, with their final map on Consulate going to 8-7 in overtime. One of the best matches of Rainbow I have seen in a very long time. And obviously, Orgless versus Unrefined. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Keep safe in these troubling times, and that will be all for tonight.
GG.